Hi there guys, and welcome to another Train Sim 2017 video. Today we are in a 159, which you already know. Now I wasn't going to buy this because I thought it's just going to be another rehash of the 158 that I've got 40 million versions of. We're about to see if it is. The reason I bought this is because Armstrong Powerhouse put a slightly cryptic message up on their page the other day and said that they recommended we buy this due to an upcoming release. So my hunch is we're going to get a 158, 159 EP pack, which I'm very, very pleased about. It is something that desperately does need something doing to it, doesn't it, really? But we'll get going. We'll see what it's like. I haven't tried the 159 out yet. I don't think it's going to be drastically different, but I may be surprised and wrong. Welcome driver, today we'll be taking this Plymouth-bound passenger service as far as Newton Abbot. Allow passengers to board and wait for the signal to clear before departing. So one thing I really do like is the 158, 159 shape in Network South East livery. I think it is stunning. Really suits it. Bachmann released a version of this years and years ago, and I've always wanted to get my hands on one. Still haven't got one yet. But it suits it brilliantly, doesn't it? It looks really nice in it. Really, really nice in it. And there's another one coming in now as well. This is just a standard DCG scenario that comes with the pack. Nothing special here yet. Well, that's putting lights up in the sky there. That's a bit odd. Let's get the train set up. So we would like some daylights, which is nice. That works nicely. Anything else that works particularly well? Start-stop buttons in the engines. Buzzer works. All passengers are aboard. Let's depart Newton Abbot, calling all stations en route. AWS self-test. Oh, cab light works as well by pressing the wrong button. Sounds their usual horrible self. Oh, got instrument lights. I just don't we have that in the Arriva Trains Wales one? I'm not sure. Cab light that works. Nothing with the master key. DRA seems to work. Sending button. Yeah, that seems to work. No other functionality that I can see so far. Oh. Cab windows. No. That would have been nice. I don't know what the horn's even like on a 159. I've never been on one. I've never actually been on one. Got a 30 limit. So, all 159s started off as 158s. Before entering service, the original 22 units were modified at Rosyth Dockyard to class 159s. And they were built to operate the expresses from London Waterloo to Exeter to replace the locomotive hauled stock, which I think was 50s. These were coming to wipe out the 50s more than anything. Yeah, it was class 50s that did that. Just confirmed it. Stepped brake as well, which is quite nice. We're going to be a bit tight on this platform. There's no noise on the brakes, apart from release and apply. You don't get any change of sound with the steps. Handles pretty nicely. So in the late 1980s, the locomotive hauled stock on the Network South East West of England route from London Waterloo to Salisbury, Yeovil Junction and Exeter St David's was in urgent need of replacement. The British Narrow Class 50 locomotives were not sustained to stop-start nature of the route and frequently broke down. Because of the long sections of single track west of Salisbury, following the beaching axe, a single breakdown could cause chaos. Various options were considered, including electrification, shortened HSTs, construction of a new locomotive and stock, a passenger version of the proposed Class 48. Was that weird thing? I'm just going to have to click on that and see what that says. There's a new class of freight locomotive in the mid-80s. Am I thinking that's got something to do with a 58? I'm not sure. Or the proposed Class 171, an in-city version of the 165, not to be confused with a later Turbostar. A study found the best options were electrification or new DMUs. With the new UK economy in decline in the early 1990s, it was found regional railways had over-ordered Class 158s. At the same time, Network South East was looking for a similar number of new diesel trains. NSE agreed to take on the surplus 158s. Let me just get this up to speed now since we've got some time. The original 22 units were built as Class 158s and rebuilt by Babcock Rail at Rosyth Dock before entering traffic. This entailed fitting first-class accommodation, retention toilets and various other modifications. The rebuild was required because it was not possible for Network South East and the newly privatised Brel to agree on terms of the variation to the NSC specification. Okay, so they went to Brel and said, right, we will take those extras on the 158, and Brel went, no, you can't do it. The first unit was 159004 and was handed over to Network South East on 6th of January 1993. In 1992 to 1993, build units are numbered 159001 to 1590022, with individual cars numbered in different series. The entire class is maintained at a purpose-built depot at Salisbury. In 2007, 8 further Class 159s were created through the rebranding of Class 158 units displaced from Trans-Pennine Express. All units use P448 and T448 bogies, which is nice, good Brel ones. The units feature a BSI coupler that enables them to work in multiple with Class 158 and 170s, as well as units of the same class. So South Western Railway Class 158s are currently in the process of being refurbished to PRM-TSI, which is persons of restricted mobility, standard something or other. That allow them to run forward as of the 1st of January 2020. This has also been completed on the 159 fleet, and 159/1 fleet will receive these standards by the 2020 deadline as well. So I saw a couple of comments on the actual thread of Armstrong Powerhouse with people going, oh, we're going to get a 158 sound pack as well, and everyone's going, no, it's a 159, it's a 159, why did we get a 158 back when they're saying it's a 159? Well, the 158 and the 159 are the same bloody train. They are, for all intents and purposes, mechanically very, very similar. There was 2 engine variants with the 158 fleet. The Trans-Pennine ones, I think, were 450 horsepower, 400 horsepower, and the standard express units were 350. And it was a Cummins or Perkins engines, I think they came with, off the top of my head, without reading up on it. Both capable of 90 mile per hour. Some had air condition differences, and if you look, the fleet has been modernised over the years. We now have working air conditioning in 158s. These Midlands trains refurbishment of the 158 is very, very nice. I've also heard nothing but praise for 159s, and a lot of people out there are very, very impressed with them. And so there should be. The 158s, you guys know, are a unit that I really enjoy. Though I don't think this is 159 seating, if I'm correct. It might have been the original. I haven't reinstalled the Armstrong Powerhouse sound pack, so I don't know if this would use those sounds as well. I think it probably will. It's a good opportunity to get two very nice liveries. All in one screenshot. I don't usually keep screenshots for my own personal benefit. I use them just for YouTube. But the more interesting I can make those video thumbnails, the more interested you guys seem to be. I never really bothered about it when I first started, but nowadays I try and make sure I've at least got a good, decent screenshot to sort of captivate you and draw you all in. Helps you guys click on that subscribe button, I hope. And if you are watching this video and not subscribed, do please give us a like, and do please give that subscribe button if this is the sort of thing you'd like to keep seeing. As always with the Steam sales, there's always a couple of first look videos that fall out the arse end of them, but we'll be back to normal soon. I mean, the 158 base of class of locomotive of multiple unit was incredibly successful, considering they were described by even Brell engineers as garden shed engineering. They were pretty much thrown together all in a very quick space of time. These things are all over the country, from the southwest to Scotland. I mean, when they first came out, geez, I remember these looking like the most modern things in the world. I mean, when the 170s came out, I don't think they looked particularly modern. But when these came out, with their smoked glazing, payphone in the vestibule, God, these things really were creme de la creme. And considering they're still running, I mean, and that sounds weird, yes, they should still be running. They're only, what, 30 years old now? Coming up 30 years old. But they're... when they first came out, they were really not liked by British Rail. Train crews especially weren't big fans of them. And as a passenger, yeah, the air conditioning was a big problem. They used a CFC-based air conditioning system that the gas was then banned pretty much the year after they came out, or the year they did actually come out. do like them in the 3-car variant as well. Funny enough, quite a few of the Transpennine based ones, when they got displaced, when the 185s came in, ended up at Cambridge. They were stored at Cambridge Depot for a while. I'm guessing before some of them went up for refurbishment into the 159 sets. But I'm not sure how many 3-car 158 sets there still are, so if you guys do know, please leave it in the comments below. Dawlish, Teignmouth, Newton Abbot. I should have really turned my water settings up for doing this route, shouldn't I? Oh, that's Chris just come up on my thing saying he's now playing Train Simulator. It's nice to know because he's working on a very good looking scenario. Which I hope to video and stream. I'm trying to get all the new content that you guys see on the stream also out for those of you who don't watch the stream on YouTube, so you can actually, you're not going to miss out basically. It was one of the things I said I wasn't going to do when I started streaming, was do it at the, what's going on there? Do it at the detriment of YouTube, and I haven't. I'm going to keep on doing that. A 6-car, you'd be fine if you were an HST or something at that 6-car stop, or loco haul, but this thing you'd be letting passengers out onto the drop.
Okay, Alan, here's what I found.
Sorry, Siri? It is nice to look at, isn't it? It's all got a sad puppy face about it. And I like the way they paint that black further down the door. And they also were, as far as I'm aware, the only Mark IV profile based unit, which is quite cool. Maybe whilst they still look really good to me. Dawlish and far. Do we have slow on the wipers? No, we're just a fast or park. So what would I like to see in the Armstrong Powerhouse pack for this? Functionality wise in the cab, I would like to see things like transmission fault lights light up when we get a bit of wheel slip. Maybe some WSP faults would be nice. Couple and uncouple buttons, possible. What's the headlight warning? That seems to be pressable, but doesn't. Oh, it's because I can actually turn that. Compressor speed up's always something nice to have. It just makes that a little bit more immersive. Destination indicator, I think, would be a really nice thing to see in this, and be able to do it as DMO. Just those buttons there just look like they should be pressed. I don't think any 158s run in DOO anyway. So yeah, I was maybe just blabbing there. But nice working buttons. It's got a DSD. Wow. We might put that on in a second. Yeah, decent sounds. Opening windows would be a real bonus. I don't know if they can do that though, because it's part of the original model, I think. And just some cab variants. I mean, the EMT ones have all been refurbished. They haven't got these. I've got one of these clocks. I think I mentioned that in my last video. Apart from that, yeah, just decent sounds on it would be nice. Maybe some sort of texture upgrades in the cab wouldn't go amiss. They're a bit flaky, aren't they? They're a bit retro. And there's actually a few people, a few of the freeware creating guys are doing quite a lot of like cab retexturing and upgrades of external textures and things. So it'd be nice to see those, a few more of those put in. I know we got some in the 66. So I don't see why we shouldn't be able to get them in this. I mean, they're not the worst in the world. At least you can sort of read the text. The Just Trains 220 without the texture upgrade, you can't even read the cab, read things in the cab. There are certain things that just look a bit blocky though, isn't there? Maybe some sort of functionality back here would be nice as well. Saloon lighting, auxiliaries, set and trip. This is a pretty route with all those curves. They've got super elevation on them and everything. The can is perfectly. It does it for me. See routes without it these days really annoys me. So if we go out the cab like here, once you're coming into that corner, see how it's quite subtle because it's not that big a bend. And here it's a big bit because it is tyre bend. It's just wonderful. And the physics definitely could do some work. Speed up for all of about 2 seconds. I overcooked it a bit coming in here, didn't I? Bless me. Ah, well. Crusty bit of 158 super duper DTG brakes. It's really annoying not hearing when I'm going down a step. Oh, I've still got power on, that's why I'm not braking very well. Excellent. Excellent. I thought the engine sounded a bit funny. Wait for a chat with my driver manager about that. We'll have my OTMR data sitting there. Excessive wear on brakes. And it's annoying that the power handle isn't stepped either. Was it 7 steps on the... Yeah, 7 steps on the 158. 159, sorry. And it is sort of stepped. Oh, it is stepped. Oh. I take that back. Do I have a blind? No, no blind. I'm quite sure there's black bits in my window there, to be fair. It isn't on there. Well, that is odd. What is that? Wow, that's a bit odd. Look, watch me go through some scenery. You'll see it's sort of behind the scenery. See? Is that on anybody else's? I don't know. Very odd. Let me know in the comments if you have the weird black square. This must be a really pretty journey. And as a driver, you know it's going to be nice, isn't it? Apart from the waves are crashing over, but I bet that's still good fun. Unless you're in a Voyager, of course. Or a Pacer. Another HST passing us now. Brilliant. That 5 miles seems to have gone really, really quickly. It's just a sort of sweeping. I keep meaning to try Devon rails, which Albie keeps bleating on at me around about to try. So it does a very similar amount of track, and arguably a better route, I hear. Newton Abbot's like the end point, isn't it? I've got some family that live down in Exeter, and is there a Facebook page called something about Newton Abbot? It's brilliant. Never been, but I get the feeling that people think it's a little bit backwards. Was it 50 Shades of Newton Abbot or something it's called? Cool, I feel like I've ended like a million videos here. And this is just going to be another one of those to add to that list. Alright, and guys, once again, thanks ever so much for joining me. Please feel free to like, share and subscribe. Head over to the Facebook page as well, if you're not on there already. We've got plenty going on over there. It's a really, really good little atmosphere. We're up at about 1,200 followers now, which is making it pretty big. There's not many Facebook train sim groups that are up at that level, so get on over there. Some really good people on there, some incredibly knowledgeable people, some incredibly good third-party developers on there. I think the only people we are missing are probably DTG themselves. So, once again guys, thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll catch you again soon. Well done driver, before the service spot's Plymouth. Let's see how you did so far. Nah, we know how badly we did.